You hate time travel, 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 you hate time travel.
Above, a spectator has appeared at the strike of 4 and has been giggling at your foolishness for a number of minutes. Clover would have been tickled to help you open this vault, at the cost of answering a few of his time riddles, needless to say. If only you thought to seek his help first rather than charging like the silly brute you are into this deadly trap of stable and not so stable time loops. Mostly unstable, really. These guys are way too dumb to maintain even elementary loop instability for more than a couple iterations. If you weren't so preoccupied, Clover could tell you that you could use Crowbar's help to pry anything out of a time loop, stable or otherwise. If you weren't so preoccupied, and if he weren't so dead.
Stitch mutters to himself in his shop. He guesses eggs and biscuits are roughhousing again, because the fabric of space-time is tearing something fancy on Lord English's Cairo overcoat. This sort of thing is exactly why he keeps a backup coat, and always leaves Stitch with one of them. Any gang does well to have an in-house doctor on hand, but if you deal in time travel, you better have a damn good tailor too.
Slick, get your scrawny ass to the vault! It's goddamn bedlam down here! I asked Deuce for backup, but surprise, surprise, he's nowhere to be found! Big surprise! That was sarcasm!
I know. Look, I'll be right there. I'll see if I can round up crew for support.
Deuce is tailing Finn while I'm tailing Deuce. I'll be there to help out boxcars as soon as me and Deuce take care of business with Stitch. Couldn't be simpler. Oh yeah, I also pumped Finn full of lead so you can cross him off the list.
Alright, roger that.
Finn bursts into Stitch's workshop blubbering something about watching out for the little guy who's about to come in here. He says to watch out because he's got a bomb on his head which is undoubtedly quite volatile, and even the slightest spark would surely set it off.
Stitch sees Finn's obviously in pretty bad shape. Checks his effigy. Sure enough, the thing's in tatters. But he should be fine if it can be patched up before he bleeds to death.
Eight out of 15 green torsos dead.
Clubsdeuce! Bursting, thrusting, bull penis cane! Everybody out of the goddamn way! You got a hat full of bomb, a fist full of penis, and a head full of empty!
Drop the livestock knob and settle the hell down. You do realize C4 is a stable explosive and won't detonate with gunfire, right?
Oh.
Drop it and get in. Don't bleed on the suits.
Huh?
You admit, the thought of carrying an imprisoned tailor wherever you go is gratifying for personal reasons. But in this case, keeping him alive should be useful in dealing with English later.
Hodge boxcars, prawn idiots with red cheeks. This predictably accomplished nothing. Taking your smut out of hiding turned out to be a very bad idea. Now copies from the future are appearing left and right, and these clowns have to pause all over it. Slick, where the hell are you?
You remove Crowbar's pin. Crowbar's alive again, and a whole bunch of other stuff is different. You forgot this gang almost seems halfway competent when he's running the show. The good news is you get to kill him again. It is suggested that you and Soyton quickly remove Snowman's pin. You have no idea how much you'd like to, but even you're not that crazy. Still, kinda tempting.
Still, Slick. Something in your eye.
Ouch. Fuck. Everyone always ceases gunplay when Snowman's around. And if you kill her, you destroy the universe. It is suggested that you remove the knife from your eye. It's not a knife. Snowman's cigarette holder. All you know is she's gonna have a hell of a time getting it back. You chuck the lance at Sawbuck. But of course, it's only a flesh wound. Seems like that's the only sort of wound you can ever inflict on that corpulent lummox. Consequently, you and he both jump to a random point on the timeline. This looks to be in the recent past, where Stitch and Crowbar were setting up the crates for an imminent gunfight, which was very thoughtful of them. Your goons should be showing up any minute with the heavy firepower. For now, you've got the drop on everybody. It is suggested that you kill something out of rage and frustration. Stitch gets the business end of your saber rattle. He's dead. In this timeline, at least. It is further suggested that you bring knives to the gunfight. Where do you think you're going, fatty? You'll deal with him in a minute. You whip out your double-edged sword and Occam's razor. Occam's razor, Crowbar's head. Make it happen. Crowbar deflects the King of Spades into Sawbuck's unmissable carriage. You jump far into the past. Years in the past, which is to say the present for the time being, a scurrilous straggler eyes the impromptu desert skirmish. He dismisses them as a bunch of ill-mannered rogues warranting no further investigation. Although he does give a small nod of approval to the plain and serviceable hat worn by one of the combatants, which strikes him as an absolutely smashing display of good fashion sense. You hit Crowbar on the head. You can't kill him yet. You need him alive to return to the original timeline. You will be taking that crowbar, though. You cram him in the war chest. Sawbuck you need to keep alive too for the moment. Not to return to the right timeline, but to the right time. Speaking of which, where's Toby think he's waddling off to? It's suggested that you just go stab Sawbuck until the time shenanigans stop. You treat him to a bit of the old bait and switchblade. You'll be in the future. You guess this is after the gunfight is over? The gunfight that never took place since you kidnapped everyone who was supposed to be involved? Looks like only Boxcars is here. You carry Sawbuck like Titan Atlas would carry the world. You order Hots to drop his tub on the double before this fat lord puts you in a wheelchair. If you take Sawbuck back to your own time and kill him there, that should save you the trouble of hunting him down. Might as well take Stitch too. Maybe. You're not really sure if that's how it works. You don't really care though. You dump him in the raft tub, then stick the tub in your own deck of cards. But you give Boxcars back his sordid literature, which he carelessly left in plain sight. No one will ever catch you leaving your smut around, and even if you did, that copy of Terrier Fancy magazine could belong to anybody. No one could prove nothing. You stick Crowbar's pin back in again, and you go back to your original timeline. But now, stuffed in your chest, you've got a live Crowbar from another timeline. Brought to the timeline where he's supposed to be dead. So you guess he's alive in this timeline, which is in part defined by his death? Okay, whatever. Should probably just kill him again anyway. Also, Sawbuck from another timeline is in there too. So you guess now there are two Sawbucks. This is getting kinda dumb. You open the chest, releasing them both. Crowbar doesn't look too pleased. You deflect his gunfire into the awesome gravitational pull of Sawbuck's astonishing girth. Everybody into the past! You dodge his next round too. It seems the Sawbuck from this timeline, i.e. the real Sawbuck, was in this room at this point in time. He and Crowbar exchange bullets. Off they go! They no doubt go on to spend the rest of their ammunition peppering each other across the timeline, destroying all these clocks in the process between now and the present. You guess that explains the mess when you got here. Thank God you figured that out. You'd surely have lost sleep over it. 20 out of 107 clocks re-destroyed for the first time. Eventually. You know what? Never mind! It's suggested that you take a moment to think of some time-based one-liners. Okay, you think you got one. Time travel sure can be a double-edged sword! Wait, that was awful. Really, really bad. You sure you can do better than that? Let's see. Sorry to... No. Time's running... No, wait. Fuck. You ask yourself from the past for a little help. Time's... No, something about time. Time being up. No, wait. No, wait, how about some kind of clock pun? No, damn it, will you just listen? You're almost onto something. Time is... Screw this! Too many cooks in the kitchen. Oh, and just what does this quivering mound of blubber think he's up to? Stab first, utter puns later. Just as you hear your past self asking what happened to your eye, you jab Sawbuck with your butterfly effect knife. You remember a little while ago asking yourself about your eye and not giving yourself an answer just before disappearing. Maybe if you stopped and thought about it for a second, you could have warned yourself and avoided the whole mess, albeit in the process of creating a paradox. But your strict policy of stabbing first and asking questions later prevented it. You're sure your past self understands/understood. You are sure of this because you very clearly remember understanding/understooding. You are now past Spade Slick. Again. You were just about to pull Crowbar's pin. You guess all that stuff with your future self and Sawbuck originally happened in this room while we were all off watching someone else, like Diamond Stroke or something. Yeah, that makes sense. You remove Crowbar's pin. A whole bunch of shit happens that we already saw. Past Spade Slick. Be future Spade Slick. Being your future self is a lot more constructive because you get to do stuff you haven't already done. Looks like you're in the future. It's a bloody mess in here. The clocks are more bullet-riddled than ever. It seems Crowbar and both Sawbucks have been decapitated. You're almost certain this is something you will be, or were already responsible for. Which of course means more time traveling. Looks like the tub and chest are gone, which means future you must have packed up and left already. Gotta take note of these sort of things so you know where they are on the timeline. You notice something on the wall over there. One of the clocks that wasn't destroyed before is now bloodied and full of holes. Not especially noteworthy. You just have a feeling you should register this fact. 108 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. It's suggested that you quickly remove Lance from Sawbuck. You pried a cigarette holder from his torso. Whoops, another time jump. This tub of goo keeps going for his gun. Widebody's gotta settle his big ass down. You should really incapacitate him without inflicting another wound. Count some sheep, bitch! Wait, the clock on the wall. It hasn't been destroyed yet. But it's about to be. It's ticking down to the time it's stuck on in the future. Maybe if you time it just right, you can end this whole mess in one fell slice. You even got a nice cold one-liner to dish out when the time comes. You've been working on it pretty hard. Wait for it. Wait for it. Hate to cut in. Wait, no, not yet. Wait for it. Hate to... No, wait. Hate to cut in. Damn it, not yet. Hate to cut and run. Shit. Hate to chop all your heads off with this sword. Real sorry about that. My bad. You slay them all with your rapier wit. 9 out of 15 green torsos dead. 2 out of 9 green torsos dead in twice. 1 out of 15 green torsos dead for the first time, but it's an alternate universe torso, so maybe that doesn't count. 7 out of 108 clocks gratuitously redestroyed. Grab the tub and chest and move on. That is altogether enough of this nonsense.